Here, then, the two armies took their stand. The one, master of all the region lying north of Trachis. The other, of the country extending southward, the verge of the continent. The Greeks, who at this spot awaited the coming of Xerxes, were themselves but the vanguard of the host, sent to precede the main body which might every day be expected to follow them. There was no cause why they should fear, for after all the invader was not a god, but a man, and there never had been nor ever would be a man who was not liable to misfortune. All these had their generals, each city its own, but he that was most regarded and was leader of the whole army was Leonidas of Sparta, descendant of the great Heracles. He had now come to Thermopylae, accompanied by the 300 men which the law assigned him, whom he had himself chosen from among the citizens, all of them fathers of living sons. The Greek forces at Thermopylae, when the Persian army drew near to the entrance of the pass, were seized with fear, and a council was held to consider a retreat. It was the wish of the Peloponnesians generally that the army should fall back upon the Peloponnese, and there guard the isthmus. But Leonidas, who saw with what indignation the Phaeacians and Locrians heard of this plan, gave his voice for remaining where they were, while they sent envoys for reinforcements, since they were too few to make a stand against the Persian horde alone. While this debate was going on, Xerxes sent a mounted spy to observe the Greeks. The horseman rode up to the camp and looked about him, but did not see the whole army, for they camped on the further side of the wall, which had been rebuilt and was now carefully guarded. However, he observed those on the outside. It chanced that at this time the Spartans held the outer guard, and were seen by the spy, some of them stripped naked engaging in gymnastic exercises, others combing their long hair. At this the spy greatly marvelled, but he counted their number, and when he had taken accurate note of everything, he rode back quietly, for no one pursued him after, nor paid any heed to his visit. When Xerxes received this report, he summoned Demaratus, his advisor on all things Greek, and questioned him concerning the news, since he was anxious to understand the meaning of such behaviour. Demaratus advised him with the following words: "These men have come to dispute the pass with us, and it is for this that they are now making ready. 'Tis their custom, when they are about to hazard their lives, to adorn their heads with care. Be assured, you are now to deal with the first kingdom in Greece, and with its bravest men." Xerxes was not persuaded. 4 whole days he suffered to go by, expecting that the Greeks would run away. When, however, he found on the 5th that they were not gone, thinking their firm stand was mere impudence or recklessness, he became enraged and sent against them the Medes and Scythians, with orders to take them alive and bring them into his presence. The Medes rushed forward and charged the Greeks, but fell in vast numbers. Others took the place of the slain and would not be beaten off, though they suffered terrible losses. In this way it became clear to all, and especially to the Persian king, that though he had plenty of men at his disposal, he had but very few warriors. The Medes, having met so rough a reception, withdrew from the fight, and their place was taken by the band of Persians under Hydarnes, whom the king called his immortals. They, it was thought, would soon finish the business, but when they joined the battle, 'twas with no better success than the Median detachment. Things went much as before, the two armies fighting in a narrow space, the Persians using shorter spears than the Greeks, and having no advantage from their numbers. The Spartans fought in a way worthy of note, and showed themselves far more skillful in battle than their adversaries, often turning their backs and making as though they were retreating, only to wheel around and face their pursuers, in this way destroying vast numbers of the enemy. Some Spartans likewise fell in these encounters, but only a very few. At last, the Persians, finding that all their efforts to gain the pass availed nothing, withdrew from the battle. During these assaults, it is said that Xerxes, who was watching the battle, thrice leapt from the throne on which he sat, in terror for his army,